too!
Yay! Hello, Kiki.
Yay!
Hello, hello. Back at it again with the courtroom.
So-called freethinkers want egg.
Listen, I love this egg. Ryunosuke, did you lay this egg? Van Zykes, did you lay this egg?
Now there's only one man who could have laid this egg.
And his name's Eggert.
His name is Eggert Benedict.
Such a stupid name. Eggert? They could have called him Egbert.
Okay, but
they didn't want
in the last one, it was pretty much outright stated, like, yeah, that's a fake-ass name.
Yeah,
like, maybe they made it extra stupid because you're supposed to go, like, that's not your real name.
But we thought the whole
They had to
time
make it
that
extra
was his
stupid,
real
though,
name.
because, like, Ace Attorney names are just like that.
I think they just didn't want to be associated with the Homestucks.
You know, that's also a fair point.
But out of all the characters to make a Homestuck reference with, I think, like, John Egbert and Jake Egbert are, like, the most sort of normal.
That's not... Exactly.
They're like white bread. They're the white bread of Homestuck. Much like
But they are
Egbert.
still affiliated with Homestuck.
I've been
like that's the problem.
I'm in a brand new Undertale phase.
Hell yeah.
Which means Homestuck phase as well, because they're the same thing basically.
Yeah, fair.
Like there's an explicit Homestuck reference in Deltarune. Like they're still so connected.
Wait, I don't know what the Homestuck reference is because I haven't read Homestuck. I've mentioned it before on stream, I think, but it's like I got to the part where the girl plays the flute and I got so caught up in the minigame and then I had to go do something and by the time I came back, I had forgotten everything else that had happened before. I was like, oh, I'll reread this eventually, and then never did.
Oh, you wouldn't understand the reference then because it's something to do with the trolls and where you were, the trolls hadn't even been like mentioned yet, I don't think.
Yeah, no, they weren't. It's like I was sitting there, I'm like, from what I saw on Tumblr, I thought this was about, like, gray-skinned people with, like, horns on their heads. Like, who are these normal-ass kids?
300 chapters in.
I see.
But the Deltarune thing, it's like Lancer is friends with Susie at one point, and he's like, Susie, I got you this bucket! And that's a Homestuck
I
thing.
see. Yeah, I've heard about, like, the bucket thing with Homestuck.
That famous video of all the Homestucks at the restaurant with the bucket, spitting in it in the middle of the restaurant.
That's the only way I know about the buckets!
I love that video so much. I want to go back to that time. We were all so free.
We were. And nowadays, if you try to do that, 5 different people are putting it up on TikTok, like, 5 seconds after it happens.
I mean, they also posted it on YouTube.
They did also post it on YouTube, but it's like... I feel like that's different. Like, YouTube back in the day is different to, like, what TikTok is now.
That's true. A lot of normal people see stuff on TikTok.
Exactly. Like, my parents use TikTok.
It leaves its own groups so fast that you can't even have fun.
Exactly. So I feel like...
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, it's like, I feel like getting like a video taken of you being cringe and having it put up on TikTok is like 3 times worse than having it go up on YouTube, because there's a solid chance if it goes up on YouTube, no one is going to give a shit.
That's true. There's a good Brittany Broski quote, and I can't remember it anymore, where it's like,
oh no,
something about being cringe. So, I want to be cringe so I can be free or something. It's something like that. I don't know.
Yeah. I may be cringe, but I am free.
It's something different, though. She says something different. It's really good. I'll have to find it.
Yeah,
later,
fair enough.
With that, why don't we just jump into the game, shall we?
Yeah, sounds good to me.
Gaming.
Gaming.
We are gaming today. Standing around is boring.
I'm not even gonna practice my British accent. I'm gonna figure it out as we go, like God intended. 17th of April. 3 days away from everyone's favorite holiday. 12:41 p.m. The Old Bailey, Defendant's Antechamber.
Wait, what holiday? Oh, April 14th?
420.
Oh.
No, 420.
413 is a Homestuck thing.
You're fucking right.
Everything's Homestuck.
Everything is Homestuck.
Gina, how are you holding up? Oh yeah, I was looking at my Twitter today, because I was looking for a post that I made like a long time ago, and I saw us talking about McGilded being in like the newest stream in 2022. So McGilded in our timeline died in 2022.
No. Because, yeah, I mean, I think we started this, like, when did we start this playthrough? It was, like, early 2022, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I think so. It was when this came out, I think. It was pretty close to when it came out.
Yeah, I remember that. Fuck. I'm looking at the fucking year right now.
Oh, no.
And it's like, that does not feel like it was that long ago.
You're gonna take damage, be careful. Her luck
I am gonna take damage.
To the Hardy Boys. He is. I'm starting to feel quite warmly towards her frequent cold shoulders now. Jenny! Are you alright? Why aren't you saying anything?
What's the point, eh? Why go to all this trouble and fight so hard for the likes of me?
What?
Well, you saw it. That picture.
What picture? I don't remember. It's been 2 weeks since we last played, I think. 3 weeks.
I think it's been a bit longer than that just because of Christmas.
They got the boom anime babes that make me feel the wrong thing.
For a long time, I did not think that those were like the actual lyrics to that song, so I had only heard like the Neil Cicierega version, and I was convinced that those lyrics were like, they were like YouTube pooped. They were like sentence mixed.
I love that song. If you watch them sing that live, it's sort of crazy, because people shouldn't be able to talk that fast.
Mm.
And they like do weird dances the whole time.
Awesome.
Oh, you mean this? Photograph taken by Early's red-ended recorder?
Yeah, it's pretty incriminating.
Well, I didn't think it would have captured a scene like that's for sure.
It's hopeless. Anyone who sees that's gonna think I did it, ain't they?
Well, maybe you should, I don't know, tell us why you were posed like that, maybe.
Yeah, like maybe be clear to your legal counsel at the moment, ma'am.
Maybe just tell somebody what was going on. You know, instead of just saying, yeah, I did it.
I mean, she is not the first Ace Attorney defendant to do that.
Well, I won't pretend it wasn't a bit of a shock when the prosecution first presented it to the court. Also, I think that's illegal, right? Just showing, like, brand new evidence in court without, like, the defense knowing about it?
Yeah, but it was like the 1800s. They probably hadn't figured that out yet, I don't think. I think back in those days, court was just...
In current day.
No. Oh, no, it definitely doesn't.
Hello, Joker.
But at the very least, like back in the 1800s, it makes sense that maybe the prosecutors can't just fucking do that.
Not in Phoenix Wright's Clown Court. It's like the show Night Court, but it's Clown Court.
Yeah! Surely you've got to have your doubts about me now. You can't still think I'm innocent.
Of course I can. Jenny, why don't you talk to us? Tell us what really happened that night.
Eh?
Bruno's cleverly managed to piece together a lot of new information, but still, we'd really like to hear it from you.
All right then. Oh, cool! They're actually doing it.
Yay! About time!
It was after we'd had that dinner together at your place, right, Iris? Then we all had a chat up in your office, didn't we?
Yeah, about how Herlock had kept her book at the pawn shop, so she left in the middle of the night to steal it back, because she thought that he was being a dickhead.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
I think we have
remember.
already figured this out.
Yeah.
But
I think it was pretty obvious, but again, this game seems to think we still need the tutorial. That we can't just solve things by ourselves.
I mean, I am kind of grateful for that just because we have had to, like, go on breaks between streams so often.
That's true.
Like, I feel like if we had tried to play, like, the first Ace Attorney game completely blind this way, we would have suffered.
Yeah. At least nobody here is 10 times convicted felon Maya Fey.
Poor fucking Maya. She almost goes to jail every single game she's in. After that, I just couldn't get to sleep. So I slipped out and went down the street to the 2-1 to Winterbank's place. I had to know.
If Iris's
that's
story
your
was
line.
there or not. The Hound of the Baskervilles.
I don't know what it's about or nothing. But if you ask me, there's something in it that Sholmes don't like. Something what he don't want people reading.
What if, like, the pawnbroker read it?
He could've. It was at his place.
Like, I don't feel like this was the smartest thing for Sholmes to do.
No, probably not.
Like, he could have had a safe in his house.
Yeah, but where's the fun in that? that can't indirectly lead to a murder.
You're right. My bad.
So that's why he lied to Iris about sticking it in Lug with Winterbank for safekeeping. At least, that's what I thought at the time.
So you broke into Winterbank's. Renosuke, we've been knowing this.
Yeah, exactly. I just had to know if it was there or not. I mean, I had no idea all of that was gonna kick off, did I? I struck the lock and snuck inside. It was dark as you, like, what? It was dark as you like in there. I've never... Sometimes you have to read Gina's lines like once or twice for me to figure out, like, what specific words go in what order. She kind of does. I think she just talks in fluent British, and that's why we don't understand it.
Yeah, we're like, we are related to the British, but
we are not British ourselves.
Yeah, we might have the Queen on our money, but not even for long. Because
No.
they're changing it.
Yeah.
It's gonna be Terry Fox now. That's cool.
Nice.
it's
Hell yeah.
sort of about time, actually, I would think.
Yeah, exactly, because, like, we've been separate from the UK since, like, what, the 80s?
We're still connected to the British.
I mean, we're still connected, but, like, we're our own independent country now, right?
Oh,
It just,
yeah. Well,
it feels weird
some
having, like,
workplaces
some...
still have to, like, pledge allegiance to the crown and stuff here.
Huh.
Like our government workers and stuff.
Huh.
They still
That
have
is
to be
interesting.
like, I pledge allegiance to the crown! It's like a whole thing. You have to put your hand on your chest and your hand in the air.
Damn.
And you have to, like, sign a paper to say that you didn't lie.
Sign a piece of paper that says, Your Honor, I'm telling the truth. I fucking promise.
But you can also just say, no, I don't want to do that, and most times you'll still be fine, and you can still have the job. But it's a thing that they make people do still here for some reason.
That's really strange.
Right?
Like, I know that we are connected to the UK still in, like, in like, certain ways, but I didn't expect that that was something that government workers had to do in some cases. It just feels weird, like, we're supposed to be our own country, right?
Yeah, it feels, like, ancient. Like, why are we still doing this? What's
Exactly.
the point?
Exactly. Alright. So I gave the oil lamp on the counter a bit of wick, and that's when... I nearly died, I did. And next thing I knew...
That was supposed to be you, right?
I think one of them was Mr. Windibank. Oh yeah, I was voicing Mr. Windibank. Fuck.
What do you think you're doing? Ah!
What are you think you're doing? Ah! Alright. I'd grabbed the gun off the counter and was waving it in the air like... I don't know what. Oh, you're the girl who was in here this afternoon. I didn't think pickpockets went in for armed robbery. The manuscript. Have you got it here? Oh, right, because she doesn't remember the word manuscript.
Right.
The Sholmes leave a load of papers with you. A story. I beg your pardon? A hound or the something or other. If it's here, I want to see it. I'm sorry, young lady. But I'd sooner die than relinquish an article belonging to one of my customers.
Yeah, but she has the gun, so...
She does have the gun. I don't want it. What would I do with it anyways? I just want to see if it's here, that's all. Oh, you want to see it, do you? Well, I want to know if Sholmes really pawned it here or not. Please, just let me see it and I'll go. Oh, very well then.
And then he was killed.
And then he was killed. For pity's sake, stop waving my gun around, would you? So then the old cove unlocked the storeroom door and we both went inside. And it was there, all right. The Mansell script. Sholmes weren't lying after all.
You did all that just to check for me, Ginny?
Anyway, then there was a bit of a kick-up out in the main bit of the shop. The Skulkin brothers... Oh, no, that's you.
The Skulkin brothers arriving on the scene. Yes.
What was that noise? Someone's breaking in! Dear me. Is there some burglars convention here tonight that I don't know about?
He seems very calm compared to
He does seem very calm.
we met him.
Yeah, whenever we met him, he was like, I'm gonna shoot myself in the head! I'm gonna shoot myself in the head! I'm gonna fucking do it! And now people
Like-
are actually blinking and he's like, oh, dear me!
We weren't even doing anything then.
No! And it was during business hours! This is in the middle of the night! This is at 1 a.m.! I think I forgot to shut the door behind me. Sorry. I'd better go and take care of it. Could I possibly have my gun back? Oh, well, I'll come with you, and... Now, don't be foolish, young girl. You must stay right here. Don't leave this room under any circumstances. And with that, he took the gun out of my hands and walked back out into the shop. I hung back in the storeroom like he said, straining me ears in the dark to hear what was going on. Sounded like they got into a bit of a scrap. Started to think I should help, see? So I was just about to go out to the storeroom myself, when... I heard a couple of shots go off. 2, I think. Almost at the same time. And then there he was. Right at me feet, laying face down on the floor. I was right next to the storeroom door, so I slammed it shut and locked it quick as you like.
Okay, so why were you asleep?
Because you thought whoever had shot Mr. Wendebank might come for you.
Yeah, so I went to grab the old cove's gun. I figured I'd put up a fight at least. But when I got a better look at him, I knew. Winterbank was a goner.
No, not my favorite character.
I felt funny in me head all of a sudden. Kinda dizzy. And after that, I don't remember nothing.
That must be when you passed out, Gina.
If I hadn't done what I done, the old cove may still be alive.
Did you tell the police everything you just told us? Like a smart person would?
Of course I did, but they didn't believe a word of it, did they? All they said was if I kept telling lies, it'd make things even worse for me.
You'll be all right, Jenny. Don't worry. Just stay strong a little longer. Bruno's about to put the real culprit through the mill.
That cove, what was there in the afternoon? That Eggert Benedict? I still remember how he looked at me. Like I was nothing.
Eggman returns.
He was there that night.
He's so cool.
We don't know his real name yet. But I'm convinced that he's involved somehow. Anyway, thank you for telling us what happened, Gina. I appreciate your honesty.
You what?
You can leave it all in Bruno's capable hands now, Jenny.
Mr. Naraodo,
Yeah?
how come you trust me? I don't get it.
It me job.
That is what it boils down to. I mean, have you forgotten what happened here before? Come on, it was only 2 months ago. It was a little longer than that for us, Gina.
That was in 2022.
Me and McGill did. I told you a whole pack of lies. And you got the bog trotter off with him, even though he was a killer.
No, I could never forget that.
Oh,
I did what I thought was best at the time. But The pain of that error of judgment doesn't get any easier to bear. Still, don't forget that I also made you a promise. I told you that I'd be on your side to the bitter end, no matter what.
But what if I'm lying? You could be working to get another killer off the hook for all you know.
That's literally my job.
That's called being a defense attorney.
I was once in your position, Gina. I was the accused in a trial.
You were?
Before I left Japan, I was accused of murder. And strange as it might sound, the circumstances of the crime were pretty damning. I was sure that no one would believe it wasn't me who'd done it.
Oh, Rono.
But there was one person who stood up for me, who believed in me, and was prepared to defend me. My best boyfriend.
Ryunosuke, no one believes in you more than I do. Leave this to me. All you need to do is put your faith in me, and I'll do the rest.
I was so happy that I cried. But even then, somewhere inside me, I couldn't help thinking. Surely he doesn't really believe in me. Not completely. But I was wrong.
Oh my god, memories.
As soon as my trial began, it was obvious that he had an absolute, unwavering belief in me. And in turn, I developed an absolute, unwavering belief in him and love.
Until some Russian chick killed him on a boat.
Yeah, until some Russian chick killed him on a boat, and she looked a lot like you, actually. You know what? I do think you did it.
Love the idea of going through this whole heartwarming story and then going, hey, wait a minute, actually, no, I think you did do it.
Since then, I came to realize, if you want someone to believe in you, you have to believe in the other person first. Believe in the me that believes in you. My favorite animes have told me that.
What are you saying?
What's an anime? I promise you, Gina,
What is an anime?
that no matter what happens, I'll keep believing in you. So you keep believing in me. So you don't need to worry. I won't let you down.
Even though I'm a diver, that's a no good liar.
I can't believe anime stole from lawyers. Shake my head.
You're not like McGilded. I know that.
Eh?
That's right. You're our friend, Jenny.
Iris?
We know you better than you think. And we've come to the conclusion that you're someone we can trust.
Yes,
That's really all we need to know.
exactly.
Mr. Naruto,
She takes the hat off and the crown is there from that Russian princess lady.
Yeah! We're like,
Even
wait a minute, what the hell is that?
But we thought that that lady wasn't the princess because she was
Right,
pretending
yeah.
to be somebody else or a ballerina or something. I don't know.
Yeah, she was like pretending to be a ballerina. I think? It's been a while since
think.
that case.
Yeah.
Defendant Gina Lestrade and her legal representative. Court proceedings are about to resume. Please head to the courtroom immediately.
Yes, of course. Thank you. I've been both a defendant and a defending lawyer in my time, so I knew only too well.
If we get hit with a to be continued, I am going to be so mad.
Just how hard it was to put all your faith in another. And I also knew just how hard it was to bear the burden of another putting all their faith in you. This is it at last. The final chapter. The final battle. Wish me luck, Sasuro-san. And I hope you're watching over me too. Lover.
Oh, thank God. No to be continued.
All right.
Okay.
So is it actually gonna wrap up today?
It might.
That would be insane.
I think the last time I looked at cat pictures for support, for emotional support, it looked like we were very close to the end. Or like
Huh.
I got a premonition. I got a premonition in my brain. God told me. A beam
All
of
right,
light,
fair enough.
A beam of light went down on me, and I heard the voice saying, "Val." Wait.
Val, you're almost at the end of the video game.
I heard that.
Awesome. I can't believe that God fucking beamed that directly into your brain for you.
Right? I was so mad. I was like, God, spoilers! Jesus Christ! I mean, oh my God! I mean, dang it!
Why do you keep calling for me and my son? Imagine hearing God's voice in your head and it just says, never speak to me or my son ever again. Like,
I'll let it slide this time.
I hereby call this court to order as we resume the trial of Miss Gina Lestrade. Lord Lamsykes, have you successfully subpoenaed the witness?
the subpoena was delivered to the communication station where the man works immediately, my lord. However, the heavy rain has delayed the arrival of his carriage, it would seem.
I see.
There's a flood? I don't remember the flood part of the story.
I think it's just raining a whole lot all of a sudden. That happens.
Well, they should be used to it.
I don't think it's a flood. But it's true. I was just thinking that. It's like, I was just thinking like, oh man, thank God we don't have to deal with like horse-drawn carriages anymore, because my first thought was, oh, the horses are going slower because they don't like being out in the rain. I don't know if
But it's
that's
also,
true.
like dirt roads
That too.
turns to mud roads.
Yeah.
Small mouth, small teeth.
Sorry. I started thinking about that. And I had to say it.
Fair enough, fair enough.
I hate drawing horses, you're right. They're so
Yeah, from what
hard.
I hear, horses are just fucked up to draw.
They got fucked up skinny legs.
Yeah,
And a big body.
exactly. So it's probably hard to make it look right just because it's like, if you're just a little bit off, it kind of looks like a balloon that's being supported by toothpicks.
Yeah. Or like, remember those, the horses you make with, eggplants? With,
I don't actually.
with toothpicks?
I don't know what you're talking about, to be honest.
You put toothpicks in an eggplant, and then it's a horse.
Oh, okay.
Chat knows, right, chat? Please tell
Well, I
me
mean,
that
up
my
here it says Val
experiences
just-
are universal.
Umbrand says Val just hates horses regardless of having to draw them, to be fair.
Yeah, that is true. I do like
That
the
is true.
eggplant horses, though. They're cool.
Yeah, because they're not real horses. They're just toothpicks and a vegetable.
It's an egg. The eggplant horse is a Japanese New Year luck symbol. I did not know that.
Oh, okay. I don't know if that's true or not, but I'm gonna incorporate that into my belief system.
I don't know what Val's talking about, but I'm afraid saying so will make her think she's crazy.
I'm not crazy.
But let us turn our attention to Inspector Greggson's precise this morning. Regarding a mission of the third Berlin in your report is a serious blunder, Inspector.
Yeah, they missed a whole ass bullet in a wall, right?
Yeah.
Or is this the
They
bullet
sure
that's
did.
in? Is this
Or-
the bullet that's in Sholmes? What one did they not?
I
Exist.
don't remember.
I think maybe they knew about the one in the calendar, but they thought the one in
Yeah.
the calendar had went through Sholmes and into the wall instead of what really happened is
Yeah.
the bullet went in Sholmes and bounced around a bunch.
Yeah, because we learned from the last stream that the surgeon that operated on the Sholmes didn't find a bullet in there.
Yeah. But also
So-
did not find an exit wound, so he knew that there was a bullet in there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm. Yes, I can only apologize, my lord.
Brother! I'm your brother! Where's my favorite boys? I'm your brother!
They're
I'm
off
your
to the side.
brother.
I'm your brother!
I'm your brother! It's my favorite video.
It's a good fucking video.
Chemical analysis of the blood at the scene makes for a compelling argument. I cannot permit such untried methods to be used as evidence in my court.
I feel like the voice you're using for the judge right now is the exact voice a basset hound would have if it could speak English.
That's how a basset hound looks.
Basically, yeah.
It's a big
They
mistake
are-
to cross Early and me. A very big mistake.
Sorry, what?
Basset hounds are such sweet dogs, but they drool so fucking much.
They're the ones with the long ears, right?
Yeah, they got the long ears and the short little stumpy legs, and,
Yeah, I
and they
love
drool a
them so
bunch.
They're so
Yeah.
If
My
your
grandpa had one when I was a
ears
kid.
blow, if they something to and fro, right? That's a song about a basset hound.
I think so?
I was always taught it was.
Fair enough. I just never really heard that song much when I was a kid. The only time that I ever heard it was whenever people were like making parodies of it, basically.
Like pretending to be old.
Yeah, basically.
I also thought that the song "How Much Is That Doggy in the Window" was about the same dog. I thought it was all connected.
The childhood rhymes cinematic universe.
Yeah.
You're my brother! You're my brother!
You're my brother! My lord! Subpoenaed witness has just arrived in the building.
Thank you, officer. Show him to the stand without delay.
Mr. Eggert Benedict. I didn't expect to be crossing paths with him again so soon, and certainly not like this.
I'm your brother!
Oh shit! I need to add the keybind to Bob.
Sorry.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Okay.
Thank you for complying with the court's subpoena. that at such short notice, sir?
My headphones are gonna fall off.
But of course, my lord, as an upstanding member of London society, it is my pleasure to oblige.
Now kindly state your name and occupation for the record.
Ashley Braden, Communications Officer.
Mr. Graydon and I both work at London Central. This was me, right?
Yeah, that was you.
Okay, Central Communication Station.
Now perhaps somebody would kindly explain what all this is about.
You were apprised of the situation by the court officer on your way here, I presumed.
Yes, I was. Something to do with a murder that took place at a pawnbroker's on Baker Street. And some nonsense about me having been there on the night in question.
That is the accusation, indeed.
This really is beyond a joke, you know.
Very well. Without further delay, the court will hear your testimony now, Mr. Graydon. You will respond to the accusation made against you, under oath. You cannot lie.
Oh, you're gonna do a funky dance now? Alright.
Gladly, my lord, gladly.
I love how he's like, oh, you will swear this under oath, as if this man isn't immediately gonna tell lies.
Nobody's
This
ever
is Ace
told a lie in
Attorney.
court.
This is Ace Attorney. No one gives a shit about the oath.
You really think somebody would do that? Go under oath and tell lies?
You really think someone would do that? Go into a court of law and tell lies?
Naturally, I have occasion to make use of pawnbrokering services from time to time, but are you seriously suggesting I colluded with these thugs to break into the place on the night of the murder? I have no intention of admitting to such an outrageous accusation. Even if certain parties here present claim that my blood was found at the scene. Some
Scaramouche?
Scaramouche detectives, all rude toy, can hardly be taken as serious evidence.
So you deny the accusation completely?
No. I must say, I am dismayed. For the highest court in the land to be swayed by this self-professed detective's toy.
It was the will of the jury. And our great British justice system demands that the jury's will is upheld. Why was that line hard for me to say?
That it would seem
Hey,
we
can you stop
have the
pointing that in my face?
What? Oh,
Hey, can you stop pointing that in my face?
that it would seem we have the misfortune of a most inept assembly of jurors today.
By golly.
How long am I expected to be detained here?
This is my favorite trope in Ace Attorney, where the person wants to leave as soon as possible.
Yeah. Yeah, this does happen quite a bit, doesn't it?
I think it's happened almost every case in this game. I have somewhere to be, Judge. Let me go, dude.
I have somewhere to be. I don't give a shit about your murder investigation. I have to go do my job.
My soaps are on the telly, sir.
If following the defense's cross-examination, your involvement in the matter has not been established, you will be free to leave immediately.
Good. Then I shall be away in time for afternoon tea. Some small consolation at least.
Let us not hold up Mr. Graydon any longer than necessary, Council.
And the judge is always on their side. Yeah, they gotta go home for tea, dude. We better hurry this shit up.
Yeah, we gotta hurry up this murder investigation. This man has to go get tea. That's the most authentically British thing that I think has been in this game so far.
Proceed with the cross examination.
So we meet again, Mr. Eggert Benedict. If that is your real name.
Watch Graydon not even be his real name.
My apologies. You are...
Ryunosuke Naruhodo, defense lawyer. We have met.
If you say so, Ashley Graydon. Enchante. So... The hell...
Ah! He took his hat off. He's so naked.
I trust we can conclude this quickly.
I'm just imagining Ryunosuke standing there like, what the fuck do you want me to do with this?
Imagine if it's like full of money and he's trying to bribe him.
There's just like the Victorian England equivalent to a $20 bill stuck in there.
But I'm not holding this flashy hat while we do.
Why did he take it off?
Why did he take it off?
Dude, boy, your hairline is fucked, dude.
It almost looks like on the top, like, it seems like it's rendered differently from the rest of his hair, so it's like he's wearing a toupee. I wonder if he's actually gonna do, like, the fucking...
The pain thing.
Is he gonna do the thing where the pain thing where he just throws his fucking toupee? Is he gonna do that? Is that what's gonna happen here?
I mean, his hairline goes all the way up. It goes to the back of his head, it looks like.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's just a shitty toupee.
Hold it! Yes, we even met in the very pawnbrokery where the crime took place on the afternoon of the day in question. So you had been there before. Though, of course, you introduced yourself by a different name at that time.
Oh.
It was Mr. Eggert Benedict.
The witness is here to testify about events that took place that night.
Objection, Your Honor. I think this is relevant. He was there the day of.
That is true.
It's extremely relevant. We should object his objection. Because he just objected relevance.
I mean, that also does happen a lot in Ace Attorney, though, doesn't it? Where they're like, oh, this thing that's clearly related to the case and or culprit cannot be related to the case or culprit at all. This is just hitting all the tropes. He is under no obligation to answer such unrelated questions.
You can't be serious.
Could you? Because I certainly do not feel inclined to answer such an inappropriate question.
So he's going to be evasive, is he? In an effort not to give anything away? This could be tricky. Hold it!
Hold it!
Have you seen these two men before?
This pair? They're my boyfriends. I mean, no, I don't associate with criminals.
Did we bring up that fan art that you found on stream before? Like, is that something that we've discussed on stream?
No, it's
Or
not.
was that in, like... Okay. Which is...
It's really good fan art. I like the pairing because the fan art is so good.
The fan art's really good, but also why?
I guess we'll find out.
I guess. So, to be clear, chat, the art we're talking about is like ship art that we found of fucking Mr. Graydon over here with like the short one of the Skulkin brothers.
And the tall one.
fan art is really
It's both of
good.
them.
Is it both of them?
Yeah. I think the ones
I only
we
remember the
posted-
one because in the one piece of fan art, he looked like a little bulldog.
He looked like a little bulldog. And he does now. Now when I look at him, I can't unsee it.
It's burned in your brain forever.
You can see the fan art on the Discord in the Anime Girls in Your Brain channel. I don't think I found the pictures on Google, so there's no like source on it. So I'm really upset. I need to do like a reverse search to find like who the artist is, because I'd like to see their other stuff too.
I just pulled up the Anime Girls in Your Brain chat and I forgot that the first reaction was spelling out men and then the emoji of an egg. God, the Anime Girls in Your Brain channel is like probably one of the best things we've thought of on stream.
I know. I love that so much. It's so fun.
It's so good.
Said
The
by
first
a man.
one being, hey, do you still use Street Pass on your DS? Fucking gets me every time. And if you want to find out what we're talking about,
Blue Sky.
yeah.
Yeah, if you want to find out what we're talking about, links in the description to the Valerie Valkyrie Discord channel, but I'm pretty sure everyone in chat is in there already.
Yeah, but if you're watching the VOD in the future,
Yeah.
and you're not part of the Discord, jump in there.
To the person named Harry, Harry, what's a good last name?
Jones.
Harry Jones in 2033.
27.
Or 27, both. You're gonna watch the video twice. Join the Discord.
Yeah, you're gonna watch it both times. You gotta join the Discord right fucking now.
Yeah, and the
You
second
don't have a
time
choice.
you watch it, you have to make a new Discord account, like a second one, and also join. Again. Or
It's the
get
rules.
your grandma to join. That's fine too.
Or get your grandma.
Said by the man who introduced himself as Eggert Benedict.
I'd like to know who I have to thank for this. Who made this outlandish accusation against me?
The young lawyer there in the black. I knew immediately that Van Zykes was gonna be like, hey, look at that guy over there.
This is a farce. Whose idea was it to permit an outsider to work in a British court anyway?
Is it bad that I'm just relieved I don't have to voice a racist character for once? Finally, the curse is broken.
Well, needless to say,
The evil's been defeated.
The evil has been defeated.
Hold it! Where were you at around 1 in the morning on the night in question, sir?
that is past the hour at which I would normally retire. Certainly,
Can you imagine if he just said, like,
that's none of your business.
and that was it?
That would be very funny.
I was not in the company of these rapscallions.
You're able to prove that?
You're able to prove that? Sorry. Oh my god. I don't know what happened. Something got stuck in my throat, I guess. Jesus.
Shit happens. Objection. Listen carefully, my learned Nipponese friend. For you appear to be under a gross misapprehension on this point.
What do you mean?
The witness maintains he was not at the scene of the crime. Therefore,
He's
we must
lying!
believe every word he says, without question. He has no obligation to prove his absence. Oh, what?
What? This is court!
What?
This is a
They
courtroom!
hadn't figured out. They hadn't figured out alibis in the 1800s yet. They were still working on that one. They had their top scientists on it. If your accusation is that the witness was present at the scene, the obligation lies with you to prove your assertion.
Okay, fine. I'll show proof
Yeah,
that
I
he's
get-
there.
I get what he's saying, but also the whole, yeah, no, we gotta just believe him that he was there when he said he was there. It's like, this man is supposed to be the most feared prosecutor in Britain, and he's saying that alibis are bullshit. He's saying that alibis are always true no matter what.
Okay, my defendant wasn't there either. It was her evil twin. That's
You
up
will
for you.
fulfill.
Sorry.
It's all good. You will fulfill that obligation before putting any more unreasonable questions to the witness. Oh, that's a different dance that time.
A silent victory wiggle. Thanks.
A normal thing that normal people do.
Yeah, he's not evil, he can't be. He does a funny little dance.
Do I have anything to prove that he was there? I guess we have to press
could
it
just
on the
press-
blood and be like, hey, can you give us a blood sample, please?
Hey, just real quick. Real quick, would you mind if we took a little bit of your blood?
Oh wait, we do have his blood already
We do.
because of the
Like, I guess?
this note had his blood on it because when Gina took
Ooh.
the music disc away, it cut his finger. He touched the note. We knew it was
Oh,
his
but
blood,
wait.
so then we did the color thing to see.
Wait,
that
no,
it's
but it
his.
said it said whenever you were like mousing over it that it has the blood of Mr. Mason on it, who's the guy who died in the McGilded case.
Oh. Then where did we get his blood from?
I think it was just from that. I think it was just from, like, hey, they tested the blood that was on the wall,
Oh, it was this one.
and oh, the music disc. Yeah, there it is.
Okay.
We could potentially present the music box disc here,
Oh yeah.
but all that would be doing is prove that, you know,
Let me save.
he did have blood on him at one point. But at the same time, we may want to press it anyways, just to be safe, because it could just open up, like, a completely different dialogue.
Hold it! Blood was found at the scene of the crime. There's no question of that. Can I look at your shoulder? Can you show us your shoulder?
Like that's the question we gotta ask.
Yeah, it's like, this is a weird little premonition that I have, but, do you currently have a bullet lodged in your shoulder right now? I feel like that's gonna be important to someone in my family in the future.
Were you shot yesterday? Mr. Sholm's chemical analysis has positively identified the substance as such.
But I'm not the only human to have blood running through my veins, am I? How can you be sure that the blood is mine? It could equally be the blood of one of these two miscreants.
Every individual's blood has a slightly different composition, it seems. I don't know how it works. Mr. Sholm's chemical is able to...
Spare me the science lesson. Who is this Sholmes character anyway?
Oh, I assumed all Londoners would know the name. He's a great, well, a renowned detective who's always wrong.
So even you are unable to bring yourself to say great detective.
A great detective, you say? Now, we're in the realm of fairy tales,
Ooh.
are we?
Oh, what's
oh,
wrong, buddy?
He's blushing?
He's blushing and looking at him? Canon. He's also blushing and looking at him, but not as much as him. He just can't contain himself.
Excuse me? It looks like you're in love, sir. I know that feeling very well. Do you have something to say about that, Mr. Skulkin?
What? Me?
Oh wait, that's you.
Yeah, you're the tall one.
Yeah.
No, the Mr. Skulkin next to you.
Right, I've had enough to hear with this. How many times do I gotta tell ya?
Why does he assume it's him?
Because for the first like chunk of the
Yeah,
fucking
but he's not even
court
like
case,
beside him.
but I think he's just assuming that Ryunosuke's playing along with it.
Yes, I know you're not big bruv Skulky. Mr. Nash Skulkin!
Well, blimey, Governor, you what?
Is it not the case that when Mr. Graydon just spoke, a thought went through your mind? Would you care to share that thought with the court?
Me thoughts? I don't have none of them. It must have been him.
You what? Mr. Nash Skulkin, answer the question, please. What went through your mind when Mr. Graydon just spoke?
Nothing, honest, Gov, nothing. I was just thinking,
He's so handsome.
if he waves his arm around like that much more, it'll open up the wound again, that's all. Oh, fuck, he did get shot!
What wound?
Well, he took the bullet, of course. It was only 2 days ago. It ain't gonna be healed up yet. You are just telling the world about this, huh? So I was, well, you know, I was worrying for him and... Oh, Els Bells!
Mr. Graydon, did you hear that?
And he's grabbing his shoulder too, god damn it!
What?
The fucking joke I made earlier.
Your comrade is worried about you, it seems.
Your joke earlier?
My joke earlier about the Von Karma thing, I thought it was just meant to be a joke. I didn't think it was gonna be real.
No, it's a poem that rhymes.
It is a poem that rhymes.
On account of your injured arm.
My lord.
Yes, Mr. Graydon.
It's gonna be like, I want to leave immediately.
I have no idea what these two wretches are talking about. Certainly I shouldn't be expected to answer anything in relation to their mindless insinuations.
Judge, please. Please be on my
Please,
side. Just
Judge.
once. Just once, dude.
Please. Please.
His brain is as big as that tiny wig that he wears.
We know that someone other than the victim was hit by a bullet at the scene of the crime 2 nights ago. And from the height of the bullet hole in the wall, that person was likely hit in the upper arm, or thereabouts. Perhaps you'd allow a court official to examine your arm, sir. The left arm that you're currently clasping with your right hand, as if it's in pain.
No. I refuse.
Huh?
You have shown no evidence whatsoever that links me to these common thieves. Accordingly, I am not obliged to permit to prevent any such invasions of my privacy. As I've already said, I'm completely uninvolved in all of this. I've never had anything to do with the pawnbrokery where this fellow was killed whatsoever. I take offense at the insinuation that I was in any way involved.
You claim to have had nothing whatsoever to do with Mr. Winterbank's pawnbrokery.
Okay, but he was there yesterday.
My lord,
He was there yesterday.
the defense would like the last statement to be added to Mr. Graydon's formal testimony. Because I got proof.
We do have
Very well,
proof.
counsel. Continue with your testimony, Mr. Graydon.
Bottom line is, I never had anything to do with the pawnbroking establishment where the man was killed.
That's where you're wrong, buddy.
Are you sure about that? It's this,
Get
right?
fucked. It
You're
has to be
savers.
this.
We've had a perfect run.
Yeah.
I refuse. I refuse.
Okay.
God, there's so much evidence. You can tell this is the last case. Oops.
Yeah.
Objection! The music stopped. I win. Have you ever seen this disc before, Mr. Graydon?
The band in like
I love
the
the
back
idea
corner.
of Ryunosuke. See, I love the idea of Ryunosuke just saying that out loud in court. The music stopped. That means I win.
They're like, what music is he talking about?
I love
like-
the idea that Ryunosuke is like a self-aware fucking video game character in a world full of normal ass people. Like normal people who are like, what the fuck are you talking about? Because he's the only
Ryunosuke-
one who has video game shit happen to him.
Ryunosuke is the Sans Undertale of Great Ace Attorney.
He is.
But I also like the thought of like there's a band playing all of this music in the corner, but when something really interesting happens, they stop because they're like, "Oh my god. Whoa." So they all stop.
I mean, considering that I'm pretty sure the confetti falling from like the courtroom ceiling is canon
Mhm.
to like that's actually happening in the game.
Yeah.
I mean that could be it. I would love a fucking world where all court cases have background
confetti.
music, and it's
music.
also have confetti. That would be fucking cool. But it's like the whole idea, and also that it's not even like recorded on a CD or anything like in modern times.
There's a
No,
band.
they still just have a full ass band.
See, the only thing with the confetti is it would sort of suck if there was like a guilty verdict for somebody who's not guilty.
Yeah, but I
you
mean,
know?
well,
But-
here's the thing: we've only ever seen the confetti show up whenever someone is declared not guilty.
oh, so maybe that's the rule.
Maybe that's the rule. And because, like, basically nobody gets a not guilty verdict in Ace Attorney, like, that's why they have the confetti, because it doesn't fucking happen. They're like, yeah, if it does happen, we have to make sure it's cool.
Why? Is it supposed to mean something?
Oh, right, we might not even be showing, like, that he cares about this disc. We're probably showing that it has his blood on it, and because his blood's on it and it was
Yeah.
at the pawnbroker. Okay.
Exactly.
This disc was until the day of the murder in pawn in Mr. Wendebank's shop. It was redeemed by the defendant, Miss Gina Lestrade, that afternoon. However, somebody mysteriously appeared to try and take it from her. And that somebody was you, of course, wasn't it, Mr. Graydon?
As I have reiterated numerous times now, you are mistaken. That was not me. I've never even seen that disc before in my life.
You're lying! It may have escaped your notice, but there is a small smear of blood on the disc.
Oh, yes, resulting from an abrasion of the thumb, perhaps?
That's right. The surface of the disc is covered in hundreds of tiny metal bumps. In the skirmish to acquire the disc, the thumb of the person who tried to take it suffered minor lacerations.
Oh,
So, while the disc bears the remnants of that skirmish in the form of this smear of blood, the thumb of the person in question must bear the remnants also, in the form of a scratch.
Oh, gracious, indeed it must!
Mr. Graydon!
ah,
You refused to allow a court officer to examine your arm before. Are you now going to refuse to allow us to examine your thumb? Because I have no doubt that it bears a small scratch consistent with the smear of blood on this disc.
oh, well, it would seem I underestimated you.
What? What is the meaning of this?
So you admit it now. You admit you have a scratch on your thumb from when you attempted to take the disc from the defendant.
Order! Well, Mr. Graydon,
It would appear there has been something of a misunderstanding here. I did not attempt to take the disc. As you put it, no, quite the reverse.
What are you trying to say?
It's really quite simple, you see. The disc was mine from the outset. Is there some crime in taking an item that you own out of pawn?
What?
It would seem, Mr. Graydon, that in this piece of evidence, my learned friend has established a link between yourself and the incident. Accordingly, you will tell the court everything you know about this disc now.
Or you could just, like, show us your arm. That would be really cool.
That would be really cool.
As you wish. Though I'm quite sure it has nothing whatsoever to do with the pawnbroker's murder.
I'm sure it doesn't.
Press X to doubt.
There is a note on the disc saying, "For McGilded," but the item belongs to me. The redemption ticket was stolen from me by the accused, that filthy gutterling, on the day in question. I proceeded at once to the shop in order to explain my situation and redeem my article. In the end, of course, the disc was taken by the police. In other words, I had absolutely no reason to break into the shop later that same night.
But he wanted the coat, right?
He did want the coat.
But did he want the coat because of the bit? I can't remember.
I can't remember either.
Mr. McGilded, you say? The famous London philanthropist? Who perished
Sorry, I just remembered a bit we did.
in this very courtroom 2 months ago after being acquitted of a distinctly messy murder, and then we all ate him?
And he was very delicious.
He was so yummy.
Yes, my lord, the one and the same. He was very good. I got a share too.
How did you get a share? You weren't even at the court.
Good lord, Mr. Graydon.
They spread it out between all of London.
I see.
Are you saying that Mr. McGilded and yourself were acquainted?
Yes, that's correct.
this has nothing to do with the case.
Murder! Well,
Absolutely nothing.
I didn't expect to hear that name uttered here in my courtroom again.
According to what Gina told us, this disc was placed in pawn on the fateful night 2 months ago. McGilden himself gave instructions to deposit it at Windibanks.
It's funny that Mr. Graydon here is claiming the disc belonged to him, then, isn't it?
In all likelihood, he's lying. So he appeared that afternoon at Windibanks in order to get his hands on Mr. McGilden's disc for some reason.
That's real close to saying something else. If somebody has like a photo
yeah.
editing software, you could do something really funny right now.
You can do something so funny. Look, the sea is already in orange. It's right there.
It's right there, guys.
It's
Who's
right
taking
there.
the plunge?
Counsel, you will commence your cross-examination, please.
Okay. If our last episode of Great Ace Attorney ends with the title being Eggert, did you lay this egg? I don't know what I'm gonna do with myself.
Honestly, it would be even funnier if this does end up being the last Ace Attorney stream. We just add the finale to the end.
Yeah.
Like in brackets at the very, very end.
Oh yeah, this is also the finale.
Yeah.
There's a note on the disc saying for McGilded, but the item belongs to me. The redemption ticket was stolen from me by the accused. Oh, we already read this.
Sorry.
Yeah, we already read this.
Oh, I didn't mean to do that.
Hold it! So you're saying that Miss Lestrade lifted the ticket from your pocket or bag?
That's right, despite being mindful of danger when walking in the
Insalubrious?
insalubrious areas are quite frequent.
Hold it! Miss Lestrade did no such thing. Or objection. I didn't read what he said.
He said objection, I think.
Objection.
Well, of course, you would take that stance, but the girl is a regular offender.
You came to the pawnbrokery that day prepared with all the information you needed to identify the defendant. You were looking for her. That's what brought you to Windibanks. To get your hands on Mr. McGilden's dick!
Objection. My learned friend is a veritable font of nonsense.
Nonsense.
I concur with the prosecution. Counsel, you will refrain from conjecturing in this way, is that clear?
Yes, my lord.
Then I will be continuing with my testimony for what possible use it can be.
Let's go to the first one though, because we didn't press that one.
Yeah, we didn't end up pressing that one just yet.
Hold it! Would you care to explain how this belongs to you?
As you will observe, a communications officer such as myself commands a fine salary.
You are certainly exquisitely dressed, sir. So handsome.
So, you see, I have little need to make use of the services provided by the pawnbrokery trade. However, I did once find myself in difficulties having misplaced my purse whilst on an errand, which is why I pawned my fine black overcoat to the broker in question.
You claim that was your overcoat.
Didn't we prove that it was like too small?
Yeah, we did.
Okay.
Obviously, and in my haste, I clearly forgot. that the music box disc was in its pocket.
And yet there is a note on it that reads, "For McGilded."
I am a collector of rare and unusual music box music. I first met Mr. McGilded at a gentleman's club in the city and was interested to discover that he shared my bird chant in that area. And, whatever.
So the disc in question.
It's a free production sample. I promised to let Mr. McGilded hear it.
But then you forgot that it was in the pocket of the overcoat that you were forced upon.
Yes, exactly.
Gina didn't mention any of that in her testimony 2 months ago, did she?
How she knows 2
No.
months ago. Oh, wait, that's... Okay, that was like a year ago to us. Okay.
Yeah.
No, because Miss Gilded had threatened her to keep her mouth shut. Which means that if we dig too deeply here, it's going to expose Gina's perjury.
Oh dear. This is complicated, isn't it?
Let's leave it alone for the time being.
I'm sure it'll come up later anyways.
We did that one. Proceeded at once to the shop in order to explain my situation.
Hold it! Had you ever been to Wanda Banks before?
Only once for the purpose of pawning something, but like many, I enjoy browsing in such establishments.
So when you noticed that the pickpocket had taken your ticket, you chased after her, is that correct?
Yes, that's right. I didn't notice at first, of course, such is the art of the pick purse. But when I did, I headed to the pawnbroker at once, in order to reclaim my coat before the thief could. I was merely trying to recover what was rightfully mine in the first place.
He can say what he likes because he knows we have no evidence to contradict him on this.
But do we? In the end, of course, the disc was taken.
Might.
Hold it! Yes, it was taken by Inspector Gregson here, wasn't it?
That's right, this was the very man. Apparently, the police are collecting anything that has a connection to Mr. McGilded as evidence.
Oh? You have something to say about that, buddy?
Excuse me? Is something wrong? Skulkin?
What do you mean?
The last remark Mr. Gregson made in his testimony seemed to trouble you in some way.
No, it didn't. It's nothing. Leave it alone.
Let me ask this, Inspector. Why is Scotland Yard gathering McGilded's possessions?
I can't tell you something like that, Sunshine.
Do you think it's because they think he's not dead?
Maybe. If Mr. McGilded ended up faking his death, like, is that how the game is gonna end? We're just gonna learn, oh yeah, he faked his death.
Find out more in Great Ace Attorney 2.
What is it, Inspector? Investigative secrets. Yes, exactly. You should know all about that. Magnus McGilded, who died so unexpectedly after his trial 2 months ago. A man renowned throughout the capital for his great contributions to public life. Yet, he had a dark side, too. Oh, like Star Wars. I know that movie.
Oh, like Star Wars. I know that movie.
Where are you going with this, Van Zykes? I suppose the police are dealing with the aftermath of his nefarious activities, are they?
I'd like to think that everybody just ignored Ryunosuke saying that.
Yeah.
Because they're just so used to him blurting out shit from the future at this point.
They're like, you know what? You can just say whatever, man. We're not even gonna question it anymore. Yeah, sure, you know what Star Wars is. Whatever. That's enough. Coppers like me have duties to carry out that we're not at liberty to talk about. That's all you need to know. Duties conferred by Lord Strongheart, I presume. The Lord Chief Justice appears to have great faith in you, Inspector. The bottom line is, if you want to get more out of me, you're gonna need Lord Strongheart's paw print first.
What's all this about? It's like there's something going on between Gregson and Lord Van Zykes here.
Well, it would appear that the inspector has revealed all he is at liberty to reveal. Mr. Graydon, let us return to your testimony.
Gladly, my lord.
Huh, so that kind of added nothing to this
No,
testimony.
we just got, like, some backstory, maybe, to stuff that's gonna happen in the next game.
Maybe. Huh. Oh, right, the handwritten notes on the back of a photograph. Oh, wait, that's right, the 2 pictures of the cats.
Yeah, that is also a thing. That's the one small box.
And this is the one for the coat.
Like, can we prove that the coat was still there?
Oh, wait, if we present this, it's a redemption tickets issued by the victim. Because the blood on that ticket for the coat is identified as Mr. Mason's, which is the guy who was killed in the McGilded case.
So
he would
that's
want
why
to get that
wants to go
coat back. Yeah, because that coat we also proved, whenever we proved it wasn't his,
We proved
was
that
like-
it was the other guys, right?
yeah. Well, it
That
was
guy?
McGilded's probably, I think.
Oh, right.
Because, like, the whole point was, oh, this coat was made for someone a lot smaller and a lot shorter than you.
Yeah, let's try it. Oops.
Objection.
No.
Fuck! Is it maybe a different one? Maybe there's a different statement we have to present that on?
Maybe? I feel like it has to be this one, though.
That is true.
It's
Okay,
just
maybe-
written like something.
Okay, what about McGilded case notes? What's up with this one? Like the one next to, yeah. The book with the stuff sticking out of it.
Oh.
Yeah, notes about this. Okay. Alright, no, that doesn't really give us much, huh?
Okay, let's press it, and maybe it's one of those things where you have to go through everything, and then they have like a little cutscene
Yeah.
and add something, because that's happened.
That has happened.
Hold it. But perhaps you'd seen something of value among the forfeited items.
No, not at all.
Oh,
A valuer was brought in by the police to assess everything in the shop. Without exception, every article on the shelves was common or garden bric-a-brac.
In that case, it's clear that you broke into the shop later that day in order to recover Mr. McGilded's disc.
Have you not been listening, man? Even if I had wanted to recover the disc, you may recall that it had been seized by the police that afternoon. It was no more in the shop that night than I. As I keep saying, I simply had no reason to break in.
But the coat was still there. So there was nothing of McGilded's left in the shop that night? Nothing this man might have been after. I wonder if that's really true.
Bruno, if you have some evidence, then let him have it. I'm dying to see that irritatingly assured expression of his crumble.
Okay, so we do have to present on that one. We must have something.
We must. We have to have something here.
McGilded slipped the disc into his coat pocket and had it deposited at Windibank. Then, when he realized he was going to be arrested on suspicion of the omnibus murder, he threatened Gina and forced her to take the redemption ticket.
There's no doubt about it. That witness is lying through his pearly white teeth.
The police were obviously after anything left behind by McGilded as well. That's why Inspector Gregson ended up taking the disc into custody that day.
But Gregsy's being very strange about it all.
There must be a reason for that, I'm sure. I just don't know what it is. For now, I need to focus on exposing the fact that Mr. Graydon is lying in his testimony.
Okay, so let's go back to that last one and look at our evidence again.
Yeah, I wonder if there's maybe a different point that we could even just like present that ticket with the blood on it on. I mean, yeah, because the article deposited is one gentleman's overcoat.
Yeah. Maybe we have to look at this.
If that's what we have to do, that would be so dumb.
Mr. Windibank appears to have used the back of this photograph to write out a redemption ticket. He's written it very neatly, but still, perhaps he ran out of paper, so had to use anything he had on hand. It's hard to know what's the front and what's the reverse side now.
The fact that
That didn't help.
shows it so clearly that it's
One gentleman's overcoat. Okay, go back. I want to go through, Mr. Egg's thing, just to see if there's any other point that we could potentially present that. Wait, what if it's the second one where it says that, like, the redemption ticket was stolen from me by the accused, a filthy gutterling, on the day in question? Well then how the fuck does it have Mr. Mason's blood on it?
true.
Because, like, that would have had to be in the vicinity of Mr. Mason on the day of the murder. So, is this dude claiming that he was around, like, that he had this redemption ticket when fucking the guy was being murdered? Like, I don't know if I'm wording this correctly, but basically, it contradicts what he's saying because it says he's basically saying that the redemption ticket has been with him this whole time and not Gina. But in that case, how the fuck is this murder victim's blood on it?
Maybe, yeah.
Damn it!
Maybe it's the first one?
Maybe?
Wendy Bank, you should have got the people to sign these things.
Yeah.
Not the disc that says for McGilded, but the item wants to meet. Where's that note that says for McGilded?
It's on the back of the music box, or on the music disc.
Oh, really?
Because if you rotate it around, it has like a little piece of paper on the back that says for McGilded.
Can we, like, take that off?
I don't know.
Poor McGilded. That's the man you defended in court a couple of months ago, isn't it, Bruno? Yes, or rather, mistakenly defended. I wonder what his name is doing on the back of this disc.
That's the question I'd love to know the answer to myself.
Alright, well that didn't help. Hmm.
Like, is the coat in any of the pictures? Like,
Oh, if it might be. We also have the picture of the dead guy. So I don't think that shows anything now. We may have to look at cat pictures.
we may have to look at cat pictures just for some inspiration.
Yeah, exactly. It helps the brain work a little bit faster. Yeah, it doesn't help that we do play this so spaced out. Like, this is probably a much easier thing to get through when it's like you just started the case like maybe yesterday. We did not start this case yesterday.
This link is wrong. That was a weird cat picture.
Huh. I mean, where were the cat pictures you were looking at last time?
I can't remember.
Fair.
I found the cute cat.
Nice. And is it helping?
Maybe. Oops.
So chat, can you remember the tallest man you've ever seen? Have you noticed what big stars real estate agents have become? Oh, have you figured it out? Did the cats help?
Maybe. But I'm mad.
What is it? Why is it that one?
I don't know.
Oh, wait a minute. Okay, it's because the coat and the music box disc were deposited separately, I think.
Oh! That's right, and we didn't remember.
We didn't remember because we haven't played this game enough.
Thank God for cats. Am I right? They're
Thank
just
God
so
for
cute
cats.
and fluffy.
This disc was deposited at Wendy Banks on Magnus McGilden's instructions. You knew that, and you went there with the intention of obtaining it for yourself.
Objection. Conjecture again. And in any case, the disc was taken into custody by the police that afternoon. The witness had no reason to visit the pawnbrokery again that night.
Objection! Sorry, my learned friend, but that's not true.
What?
You can't say that to me.
Only I'm allowed to use those words to refer to you.
Mr. McGilden had another article in Pawn at Wendy Banks. As this second pawnbroker's ticket proves.
Oh,
There were 2 articles belonging to Mr. McGilden in Wendy Banks' pawnbrokery. And the reason you broke into the shop that night was to recover the second one. Together with your 2 accomplices, the Skulkin brothers.
oh,
This is the second ticket, is it?
What had the man deposited?
Okay, so Van Zykes is like super interested in McGilden.
He is.
The article description reads 1 small box.
A rather vague description, it seems to me.
are you suggesting that I broke into the pawnbrokery with these clowns in order to steal some trinket box?
I love how the second he refers to the Skulkin brothers in any way, they immediately turn to look in the other direction.
They are so, what's the word?
Non-confrontational?
Nondescript
yes.
of their involvement.
Yeah.
I believe there are adequate grounds to suspect that you did.
This is absurd. Why on earth would I do such a thing? Once the article had been forfeited, I could simply walk into the shop and purchase it. There would be absolutely no need for me to resort to theft.
Oh, that's a good point.
Indeed. The witness makes a solid argument.
So that means that for some reason, this Graydon fellow needed the small box that very night, does it?
Objection. It's time to put an end to this nonsense, my lord.
Could you be a little less cryptic, Lord Van Zykes?
I do hate to ruin my learned friend's arguments, but the truth is quite incontrovertible. On the night in question, no small box was taken from Windibank's pawnbrokery. And rest assured, the prosecution can prove it.
Because you have the box.
Oh, fuck.
What?
Good gracious!
Inspector, show the photographic prints to the court, if you please. Yes, sir!
What prints?
These prints were taken from one of the detective's security cameras.
Oh, Hurley's red-handed recorders again.
They sure seem to be screwing up our case a whole lot, Iris.
Yeah, and they keep
As
saying
previous-
we're not going to rely on Herlock's toys, but they sure fucking love those cameras.
As previously explained using this plan of the shop layout, The victim's establishment was furnished with automatic cameras in 2 locations. One was set to capture the counter where Mr. Windibank received his customers, and the other was set to capture the shelves on which articles were placed for sale once forfeited. According to the information on this ticket, the gilded small box had been forfeited already. 2 days before the incident at 9 p.m. on the 13th of April, to be precise. Which means it would have been on the shelves of forfeited items in the storefront. Now, what I have here is a print taken by one of the cameras about 2 hours before the incident. That's at 11 p.m. on the 15th of April.
There's the box. I think we looked at the box
There is the
too
box.
when we were, like, looking there.
Yeah.
The victim certainly had a very full shop, it would appear.
And then here we have another print.
Still there.
This one was taken about 2 hours after the incident.
You just see, like, Sholmes lying on the floor.
Proceed. So we have 2 pictures to compare.
And nothing was taken. They're the same picture. It's the same picture.
Though I must say the placing them side by side leaves me cold. Dear me, that's starting to make my head ache.
Looking at 2 pictures?
Is he doing the thing that they were doing before where they crossed their eyes?
Oh, maybe.
Is that how that's gonna get resolved? Are we gonna use the fucking stereoscope to see like the one
Yeah,
thing that's
use-
out of place there?
Use the stereoscope and then you'll notice. Cross your eyes.
Obviously, at Scotland Yard, we considered theft as one possible motive in this case. We explored the possibility that something had been taken in addition to the victim's life.
They love the eye crossing bit. It will never go away. Use the special effects that didn't work normally in the first time. That's right. They were like, look, it's so obvious.
Yeah, and it's like, I don't know if I'm just not doing it right, but I could not see what the fuck they were talking about.
But even
Like,
they,
I could not get the 2 pictures to line up.
They like faked it too, and it still didn't show anything.
So your men have already compared these 2 prints thoroughly, Inspector.
But did they cross their eyes?
But did they cross their eyes? Yes, sir.
I can hear her
I am
crossing
trying-
her eyes.
I am trying so hard to get this to work, and it doesn't. We counted every single item in each of these 2 photographic prints. And the odds conclusion is that exactly the same number are present in both.
But what if they opened the box and took out what was in it and left?
That's true. In other words, nothing was taken from the pawnbrokery on the night in question. And my learned friend's assertion is nothing more than a hopeful fantasy.
Well, this is going to be your final fantasy, Van Zyke,
Heyo.
because I know what happened. Ah!
Okay, Umbreon is saying the box is a bit moved. My eyes crossing actually worked.
Oh! I don't believe
Well,
it.
shit.
If I could have just shown what he'd stolen, a gilded pawn box, I might have been able to break him down at last.
You know what, Runo? I've been thinking. Have you ever thought of crossing your eyes? I wonder if these 2 photographs really are exactly the same.
What?
So, counsel, in the light of the evidence before by the prosecution, what is your position? It seems that, in fact, on the night in question, nothing was stolen. Do you accept the prosecution's assertion?
I don't know.
Oh yeah, you can totally tell just by looking. The box is on the left side of the photo frame behind it in the first picture, and it's on the right side on the other one.
Oh, I feel like I'm not looking at... Oh, I wasn't looking at the right box. I was looking at the music box. The one that has the little cloth under it. Yeah, that box at the bottom is definitely moved.
I wasn't sure at first, but... There is clearly a discrepancy between these two prints.
What?
You must identify the location in question for the court, counsel.
It's the box, dude.
It's the box! Look at the box!
Look at the box, dude. Take that. Granted, these two prints are almost identical. But almost Christmas isn't Christmas.
What?
What do you mean almost Christmas?
What do you mean almost Christmas? That's
They're
just
doing-
Christmas Eve.
Ryunosuke, you could have just said the picture fucking moved. Like, the box moved. You didn't have to do the stereo... You didn't have to do that. You could just show them
No,
that
but
it
they
moved.
love this bit. They love it so much. They have to do it again.
When you view the two pictures stereoscopically,
Do you think this works by turning on the 3D on the 3DS, too? Like, do you think that's
Maybe
how
it
they
did
tell
in the
you to do
original.
it in the original?
That might be why they're putting such a focus on it.
a single area stands out as being different. The location of this small box.
They have him using it. Let me... wait. Unbelievable.
I wish he was crossing his eyes like the judge.
By Jove, you're right! How extraordinary!
What this tells us is very simple. Voice crack of the century, dude. Mr. McGilden's small box was indeed not stolen from Wenda Banks on the night in question. But, however, there can be no doubt that somebody picked up this particular box and then returned it to its place on the shelf. So they probably took out whatever was inside and took that.
Are
Yeah.
you suggesting that the small box originally deposited by Mr. McGilden is in fact...
Yes, the very same small box I just identified in those photographic prints.
Objection. Mindless guesswork. What if it was? So a
Dude,
box was
obviously
moved
they
on the
took
shelf.
something out of the fucking box!
Nothing was stolen. Which means quite simply that nothing has changed.
A bellboy would never go to a hotel room and leave empty-handed.
That may be true, but... Alright, McGilden's box wasn't stolen then. But doesn't the fact that it was moved like that change things? Yes!
It changes
It
everything.
changes everything, dude. I believe this changes everything about the case.
How can that possibly be?
The crucial point is the fact that what was moved was a small box. What do boxes do? In other words,
They
we have to
hold
consider
things.
what might have been inside the box.
What are you suggesting? We're suggesting that you don't know how boxes work.
I'm suggesting that we need to examine that box as soon as possible. A vital piece of evidence is sitting on the shelves of Wenda Banks as we speak. But they took
Objection. That won't be necessary. Some little box belonging to a man who died 2 months ago cannot possibly be relevant to this trial. Sir,
Actually-
you live in Ace Attorney. You would be surprised.
He died 2 years ago.
The court does not uphold your objection, Lord Van Sykes.
Finally!
Bailiff, arrange for an officer to go to Baker Street at once. Obtain the small box in question and bring it back here for further examination.
All right. What's in the box?
What's in the box? This feels like the end of the fucking case, dude. All these
Yeah,
slow
like,
zooms.
what the fuck is gonna be in that box?
But if we're on the stance that they fucking took something out of it, it's gonna be empty.
I mean, there's gonna be something left in the box. Imagine they open it and there's just blood inside of it.
It's blood in the box! It's blood!
It's blood! It's... Why did McGilden put this in the pawnbroker shop? Oh, it was just a joke, me lads.
That's my favorite Germa bit ever.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
There's blood in the box!
There's blood in the box.
Luke can!
We should have a report within half an hour. I think perhaps we should recess for a short while until the evidence is brought forth.
To be hoodwinked by such a farce. Disappointing.
I beg your pardon, Lord Van Zykes.
I'm calling you an idiot, Your Honor. And this is nothing but a smokescreen. A Nipponese specialty, it would seem.
What are you trying to say?
I'm trying to be racist. Novella's not allowed to go through one fucking stream without someone saying something racist. My learned friend has persisted with the same line of reasoning from the very beginning. And that this witness's intent was to steal an article belonging to McGilded from the pawnbrokery. Yet common sense tells us that none of the articles have value enough to be worth stealing in the first place.
Exactly. It would be beyond absurd to break into a place for the purpose of stealing such commonplace property.
Boxes?
You had
Hold
You had
things.
better. You had better fucking drink that, sir. If your lordship recalls, Mr. McGilded perished 2 months ago, immediately after the conclusion of his trial. A trial in which he was found not guilty. A trial in which it was established he was the upstanding member of society his reputation implied, in fact.
Didn't you, like, just say, like, maybe half an hour ago that he was, like, sort of evil? I think Van Zykes did just say that.
Okay, well, I think Van Zykes is leading into the fact that, like, we defended him, and then afterwards it came out that he was involved in all kinds of shady shit. So I propose a toast to my learned friend and his most insightful defense.
The articles this upstanding member of society pawned were entirely ordinary. A black overcoat that just happened to have a music box disc in one of its pockets, and a small box. I assure you I wouldn't accept even if the man tried to make a gift of such things to me.
You know, that does make rather a lot of sense. It's not as if it was gold or jewels, was it? Though, goodness knows McGilded was rich enough.
Ash at a pawnbrokery.
The prosecution's argument is undeniably compelling.
We just get the box and open it.
I mean, they're waiting for the box to come in. It is incumbent on the defense now to bolster its argument. God damn it, sir! To explain what possible significance these commonplace articles pawned by this fine citizen could have. There's gonna be blood in the box.
It's gonna be blood in the box.
It's gonna
Dork
be blood.
Cube. he had a subscription to Dork Cube, and there was blood in the box.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, Counsel, is your argument in fact demonstrable? Are you able to show proof that the disc or the box are in any tangible way related to this case?
Well, what's the matter, Runo? We know that they're related, don't we? They're both vital pieces of evidence.
Yes, of course. You and I both know that. We know McGilden's true character, and we know the disc is significant, even if we don't know why.
We're gonna have to throw Ginny under the bus. The omnibus, even.
We are, aren't we?
But if we explain all that to the court at this point, we'll have to acknowledge that McGilden's acquittal 2 months ago was a mistake. That the defense's argument was flawed, based on false information.
Oh no!
And that would mean admitting that Gina committed perjury.
I mean, perjury is a better
Everyone.
sentence than murder.
It's true, and also, perjury happens every fucking day in this courtroom.
To no consequences.
Everyone lies on the stand.
To zero consequences.
Yeah, this is the one time that lying in court has had actual consequences.
But Ginny,
Could it be that Van Zykes knows? Is that why he's doing this now? Because he anticipated everything?
well, maybe. This could be a great opportunity for us.
Sorry? What do you mean, Iris?
Well,
Throw her under the bus.
under the omnibus. Well, what is it that you always say, Runo? Sooner or later, the truth comes out. Every time.
Right. The exact significance of the things that McGilden deposited with Mr. Whitman is something that only Gina can explain to the court. But if I put her on the stand to testify about that, it could critically damage her chances of winning this case. What's the right thing to do here?
Have her testify.
I feel like that's kind of the only option we have at this point. I mean, but then again, they are still bringing the box regardless. Like, what are they gonna do? They don't have cell phones. They can't tell the guy who's going to get it, oh yeah, never mind, dude. Like, the box is gonna get to us either way, isn't it? I mean, I know that the game probably wants us to have Gina testify, but it's like,
Yeah.
we could just stall.
My lord, the defense would like to make a proposal.
Oh, what proposal, Counsel?
While the court awaits the arrival of Mr. McGilden's small box, I would like to call the defendant, Miss Gina Lestrade, to the witness stand.
The defendant? To what end?
It's to do with the various articles deposited at Wendabanks by Mr. McGilden, my lord. Miss Lestrade has information relating to them. I believe it would be beneficial for the court to hear what she has to say. It will prove the significance of the articles in question once and for all.
Well, things are becoming interesting. Oh, and Gina's gonna freak the fuck out because, like, she finally started trusting us and now we're like,
Yeah, really.
okay, confess to perjury now, please. I presume you've considered the implications of the testimony you're proposing? In particular, the impact it will have on the accused's standing, and indeed your own.
I have.
Lord Van Zykes, would you care to explain that last remark?
No. The prosecution accepts the defense's proposal. I move to interrupt the cross-examination of the current witness and hear from the accused herself. Meanwhile, Graydon's just standing there like, does that mean I get to leave? Does that mean I get to go to tea now? I'm running late.
Very well, if you have no objection. So, the court will now hear the testimony of the defendant, Miss Gina Lestrade. You witness is currently in the stand may step down until further notice.
I'm going home. Then I shall bid you good day. Oh my god, he actually is.
Yes, he's going home. Wait. You, sir, shall remain in the stand while Miss Lestrade testifies.
As you wish.
All right then, Gina, it's time. I know this will be hard, but please, put your faith in me here.
Good luck, Bruno.
The articles that Mr. McGilded had deposited in Wendibank's pawnbrokery are intimately related with the omnibus case, the trial of which was heard in this courtroom 2 months ago.
Yes, and I remember this young lady being brought before me in the trial as well.
That's right, my lord. Her testimony helped to establish the innocence of the defendant, Mr. McGilded.
The omnibus case was intriguing, to say the least. And now here we all are again. The same players in that trial facing each other once more. A twist of fate, perhaps. My Nipponese friend.
Allow me to recap the events of 2 years ago. An old brickmaker was stabbed to death in an omnibus running along London's winter streets. Apart from the victim, there was only one other person in the carriage, Mr. McGilded. Naturally, he was the prime suspect for the murder. But as the trial progressed, another possibility emerged. That the murder in fact took place above the defendant's head on the roof deck, with the body then being dropped through the skylight into the carriage below. It was Miss Lestrade whose testimony brought that possibility to light. At the time of the incident, Mr. Lestrade was concealed under the seat in the carriage. Miss Lestrade, hoping to pick the pockets of unsuspecting passengers. Then immediately after the trial, having been acquitted of the murder, Mr. McGilded died in this very courtroom in the most extraordinary of circumstances and most tastiest of ways.
A mystery that remains unsolved even now, 2 months on. As indeed does the omnibus murder itself.
Be that as it may, I recall neither the disc nor the small box being mentioned in the course of those proceedings.
Miss Lestrade? Would you tell the court now, please? What really happened in the omnibus 2 months ago, I mean?
I don't know what you mean. I already said all of what I know.
And what about everything you told us yesterday from inside your prison cell?
Huh?
Please, Miss Lestrade. This is extremely important.
But... Remember, little girl. If it transpires that you willfully withheld information in the trial 2 months ago, then the Home Office will seek to prosecute you for perjury. Still better than murder.
Yeah.
Huh. And naturally, you will lose all credibility as a witness. Although, let's face facts. You have little credibility to lose.
Jenny, don't listen to him! Please, you have to trust Runo now.
Iris?
We're on your side.
All right then. I'll talk.
Well, that was easy.
It's the right choice, Gina.
Well, it would seem my learned friend is hell-bent on bringing the entire courtroom down about his ears. So be it.
I must confess that I'm struggling to understand what on earth is happening here. However, it would appear that Mr. McGillicud's pond articles and that extraordinary case of the omnibus harbor secrets of which we have been hitherto unaware. So, Miss Lestrade, you will now give your testimony before the court about the events of 2 months ago. You will reveal the truth, a commodity sorely lacking in your original statement.
This is it, then. Everything's going to come out. The truth come out. Like Van Zyke said,
Truth come out.
this could bring the whole courtroom down by my ears. But as a lawyer, I'm prepared to take that risk.
Now that happens in the 5th game.
Truth is that Brickmaker Cove was in the cabin of the omnibus the whole time. When the Irishman dragged me out from under the seat, I saw that disc on the floor. All of a sudden, I heard a scream from over me head, and that pair on the roof deck went off to call the slops. That's when McGilded slipped the driver some tin to do a run to the pawn shop roundabout. They threatened me not to snitch, not to say nothing to no one about what I'd seen or heard.
Good grief, this is outrageous. What you've just told the court bears almost no resemblance to your testimony 2 months ago.
As you say, my lord.
Then there's every chance I may have adjudicated an error in Mr. McGillicud's trial. It sounds very much to me as if the man deliberately deceived the court in an effort to cover up the most wicked of schemes.
Without doubt, your lordship is correct. A great injustice was done in this courtroom 2 months ago. The actions of the accused in that trial, of this witness, and of my learned friend are entirely inexcusable. I don't believe it.
Lars? The lies?
That McGilded fellow was rotten to its core.
Don't forget the lawyer from the East. They were on his side.
They ran on it together. You're wrong, the lot of you. Mr. Naraoto, the lawyer there. He didn't know nothing about it. Humbug. I don't think so. Are we really expected to believe that?
He really stitched everyone up, didn't he? What an operation to get the man off scot-free. Unforgivable, stop. The lies have to stop. Stop.
Yes, the defense made a terrible error of judgment. I intend to take full responsibility and suffer whatever consequences are deemed appropriate. However,
I mean, nothing bad should happen to you. You're just doing your job.
it's
Yeah, exactly.
imperative
But-
that the court allows the witness to elaborate on her testimony. Because the true significance of McGilded's pond articles must be brought to light.
Very well, my learned student friend. Given the depths of calamity you have just plunged yourself into, this may well be worth hearing.
Words fail me. The situation is utterly deplorable. Mr. Naruto,
Yes, my lord.
I will decide upon your fate following the conclusion of this trial.
Of course, my lord, even though you can't really do anything to me. Because again, I was just doing my job.
Yeah, exactly. But then again, it's like,
It's clown
We're-
court, so
weren't there, like, incidents in the past in Ace Attorney where, like, someone's used, like, forged evidence without their knowledge and then gotten in trouble for using forged evidence even though they had no idea?
yeah. They
Like,
got
that's
disbarred.
not uncommon. Exactly. Blimey, Mr. Naruto.
Now, counsel, proceed with the cross-examination.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, he's... The other guy's turned away now. Yeah, so we're gonna have to just press one by one again, I guess.
And you were hiding in the cabin at the time as well, weren't you, Mrs. Stride? If I remember rightly, in the storage compartment underneath one of the seats.
Yeah, that's right. It's pitch black under there, so you can't see nothing at all.
Now, in your testimony 2 months ago, I feel certain that you claimed Mr. McGilded was the sole passenger, did you not?
False testimony, my lord. That's what he told me I ought to say.
But it's important that you tell us the truth now. Were Mr. McGilded and the victim acquaintances?
I don't know. But I did hear him talking a lot.
What were they talking about?
Well, I couldn't hear too well. If I had to say... Well, I think it was about money or something. They kept talking about buying and not buying.
Perhaps business dealings of some kind?
Well, anyway, they got louder and louder. It started to sound like a proper fight. I was pretty scared by then. I hardly dared to breathe. And then, all of a sudden, I heard a noise like someone keeling over on the floor. It was blooming loud and all.
Then believe you let out an involuntary scream.
Yeah. That's what gave me away.
Hold it! Was the disc you saw this disc?
Yeah. I reckon it probably was. Oh, they're talking to each other.
Can we, like...
Huh. Can we just say, hey, excuse me? The fuck are you two doing?
Is there something you'd like to share with the court, kids? Would you like to share with the class?
Oh, was that what we had to do the whole time?
Inspector! Mr. Graydon!
What? Ah! Blimey, you trying to give me a heart attack?
You have been whispering to each other for quite some time now. So tell us, what is the discussion about?
I really like this. Where
yeah,
it's
that's
like,
cool. Like,
that
they
is
didn't
cool.
even give us, like, a little thing to be like, oh, they're doing something. I just wanted to see his new
no,
pose.
exactly. Discussion with this fella? Pull the other one, sunshine.
So can we get him with perjury too? Because he just lied.
You think I got anything to talk about with a shady gent like this?
And I have nothing to say to this uncouth detective after he deprived me of that disc that was rightfully mine.
Are they working
God,
together?
for some reason, seeing Inspector Gregson's fish and chips is just making me crave French fries so fucking
Yeah,
bad right now.
I'm getting pretty hungry.
No. I don't even have French fries in my apartment right now. I can't do shit about this.
But they've clearly been talking the entire time I've been cross-examining Gina. It's as if they've been negotiating.
You'll kindly refrain from talking amongst yourselves while the witness is giving testimony.
Yes, sorry, my lord.
What were those two talking about?
Miss Lestrade, continue with your testimony, please.
Alright. All of a sudden, I heard a scream from overhead. So I guess maybe we couldn't get any reactions from them until we went through that dialogue.
Maybe.
So maybe we should just press the first two again and just kind of skip through the dialogue, just to see if anything comes up.
Or, there were two gentlemen occupying the seats on the roof deck.
That's right. They must have looked down through the skylight and noticed the cove with the knife in his guts. When they screamed, the driver pulled up the horses and McGilded got me out of sight.
Out of sight where?
Under the seat, yeah. Back under the seat where I started off. Once the carriage came to an halt, the two cubs from the roof ran off to fetch the slops. If they immediately left to fetch the police, it would appear they were entirely unrelated to the incident.
So that left McGilded, the driver, and you still at the scene.
Yeah, only the driver didn't know I was there because I was under the seat. I heard the cabin door open and a voice from outside.
The driver, yes. He also testified in the trial, I believe.
Yeah, that guy.
A fellow that went by the name of Beppo, if memory serves. Beppo.
Beppo.
What did Mr. McGilded and the driver say to each other?
Oh, I don't know what happened and stuff like that, mainly.
Gilded slipped the driver some tin.
Hold it! That pawn shop obviously being Wendabangs on Baker Street.
Just a moment, Counsel. Do you mean to tell me that the driver gave false testimony in this trial as well?
Perhaps the excursion to the pawnbroker slipped his mind when he was in the stand.
Indeed, Lord Van Zykes.
McGilded took off his coat and gave it to the driver. He folded it up all careful-like before I handed it over. When I saw him do that, I remember thinking, that coat and what's in it's gotta be worth a few bob.
Yes, Gina was sure the disc must be worth more than Mr. Wendabank was suggesting, wasn't she? I remember her quibbling with him over the price that afternoon at the pawnbroker.
The driver looked pretty happy when Miss McGilded flashed some brass in his face. He went running off at a lick. Then the bog trotter called to me and told me to come out from the drag's cabin.
Threatened me not to snitch, not say nothing to no one about what I'd seen or heard.
Hold it! Threatened you how exactly?
Told me I'd only be able to scarp her if I did exactly what he said. Which included giving false testimony in court 2 months ago. Yeah, that's it. And there was one other thing he said. Which was... He told me I'd have to hang on to the ticket from the pawn shop and make sure not to lose it.
The ticket? Well, I never.
Said that if he didn't show up to get the ticket off me before 2 months passed, I had to go to the pawn shop and pay the money to keep it in lug. Stop it from being forfeited. He left me with some brass to pay for it.
But really? Why on earth would Mr. McGilded have done such a thing? Depositing his overcoat with a pawnbroker before the arrival of the police. It makes no sense at all.
There would seem to be only one logical explanation, my lord. What McGilded had the driver deposit at Wendibank's was something he didn't want the police to see. Something very important that he needed to hide at all costs.
Anyway, after that, he let me go. So I legged it before the coppers showed up.
Well done, Gina. It can't have been easy to tell the truth like that.
Ginny's really put her faith in you, Runo.
Yes, and I thank her. She'll have to face a charge of perjury once this trial's over, like every other person who shows up in this court. So, I need to use the time we have now to get as much information out of her as possible.
It's time to really go for it. Press her on every statement.
I thought we did.
Well, I think that now we have to press the first two because we pressed the first two while those two were still talking.
You were hiding in the cabin at the time as well, weren't you, Mrs. Straw? I remember rightly, the storage underneath the seats.
Yeah, that's right. Pitch black under those. Now, from testimony 2 months ago, I feel certain. Yeah. False testimony, my lord.
Testimony.
That's what you told me I had to say, but it's important that you tell us the truth now. We're Mr. McGillen and the victim acquaintances. I don't know. But I heard them talking. What were they talking about? Well, I couldn't hear too well. If I had to say, it was about money. Business? Anyway, louder, fight. Scared then. Breathe. Sudden. Noise. Kneeling. Loud. Believe. Involuntary. Scream. Yeah. Away.
Alright, so... Still have one more.
Disc you saw? Yeah, disc I saw. Lying on the floor. Disc? Victim? Oh. McGilded picked it up. Knife. Time? No one. Disc. Scared. Looking at me. Didn't go long. Stuck. Knife.
Yeah, I don't think we got this far because we interrupted the guys.
Oh.
Then he started asking me a load of questions. Like what my name was and where I lived and that. He asked me about being a diver too.
But after a while, what had happened in the carriage was noticed.
Yeah, that's right. First there was some kind of rapping noise. Oh fuck, Eminem cameo.
Thank you, Mr. Strahd. Thank you, Counsel. I've heard enough. I believe we now have a reasonable understanding of what actually transpired on the omnibus.
It would appear on that night 2 months ago a negotiation was taking place on the omnibus. Oh, so
Like
we
the
just
one
had to
that
go
happened
through
in
the second
court?
one again.
Like the one that happened in court just now.
A negotiation concerning this disc. However, matters did not run smoothly. When the parties involved began to quarrel over price, McGilded took what he wanted by force. At the expense of the other man's life.
Which proves my point. This disc is clearly extremely valuable in some way. Although I don't understand why.
And 2 days ago, precisely 2 months after the omnibus incident, McGilded's coat and its contents were due to be forfeited. I didn't know what I should do with the ticket. I mean, the cove died right after his trial. I knew that. So you decided you would try and claim the articles as your own? Well, why not, eh? They were only gonna be forfeited. Why shouldn't I have a go? Why shouldn't I have got them? Anyway, you can't blame me for thinking about it. Thinking ain't no crime.
Miss Lestrade, it would appear Mr. McGilded was prepared to kill in order order to take possession of this disc. Do you know why that would be?
Eh? I ain't got a clue. But I reckon it must be worth a fair bit of brass. He was probably going to sell it. And you can't blame me for thinking that. Thinking ain't no crime. My lord! The evidence your lordship requested has been located and is ready for the court's inspection, sir. It's time!
What's in the box?
What's in the box?
The mysterious little box deposited by Mr. McGillen 2 months ago. There's no doubt in my mind that it's a key piece in this far-reaching puzzle.
No!
No!
God damn it!
The next chapter is the last chapter.
I see. I see.
So we'll finish it next... Maybe not next week, probably. But the next time we stream it?
Yeah. I mean, at
Sounds-
least the last stream doesn't have to be called Eggert, did you lay this egg?
That's true. Oops. Oh my god, I can't believe we're so close to the end.
We're so close.
See you guys in 2026. But let's go to the talking screen, shall we?
Yeah. Oh, this works out. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. I'm checking grocery store hours. I might be able to buy fries.
Ooh. Skip the dishes.
No! It's already closed.
Skip the dishes.
I'm not paying that much for French fries.
That's fair. I have steak frites in my fridge because I
Ooh.
went to a restaurant yesterday and I got steak frites. And it's
Hell
just,
yeah.
it's just a regular steak, but it's on top of like a bed of like waffle fries that are covered in like garlic and parmesan.
Oh, that sounds really good.
They're so good. They're from is it Jack Astor's or Shoeless Joe's? One of those like corporation places.
Yeah. Yeah, I've only been to Jack Astor's the one time. I haven't ever been there since, so I don't know what's on their menu.
The food's pretty good. At this place too, the drinks are free.
Oh, hell yeah.
So you just pay for your food. But I ordered garlic cheese bread and they didn't give it to me. They forgot it.
No!
So I was a little pissed off.
Yeah, that sucks.
off. But
As you should be.
I have
We're
leftovers,
denied
so
garlic bread.
good.
That's a crime. That's a sin.
Not just garlic bread. Cheesy garlic bread.
Cheesy garlic bread. It's even worse.
Yeah, that's a crime. But yeah.
Absolutely shameful.
Next time we play this, we'll beat it.
Yeah.
So there's that.
It's a
That's
stream
weird to
multiple
say.
years in the making.
Then we'll go right into part 2, baby. No, we're joking. It's gonna be probably
We are
Disco
joking.
Elysium.
It is probably going to be Disco Elysium. I've had that game on Steam pretty much since a Steam sale in 2021. I have not touched it. I have tried to avoid every possible spoiler I can for that game.
It's gonna
I'm
be a
going
good
into this
time.
as blind as possible.
And then there's going to be less reading in that one.
That's true too.
It's all voice acted, the whole thing, pretty much.
Yeah. And I find that, like, because I read, like, a lot of VNs and, like, mystery games and stuff. Games where where the characters are all voiced are a lot easier to get through. There's a lot fewer chances for you to go off on a tangent because you're not talking to begin with.
Yeah, exactly. So hopefully that one goes well.
And we aren't going to play it like how I play it in my personal time, like a crazy person.
Hell yeah.
I play that game like it's instant death. Like, if you die, you gotta start over.
Ah, I see.
Like, what?
Yeah, I'm not doing that.
Roguelikes.
Roguelikes, yeah, I think so.
But yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I could do that because, I said that I've been trying to stay as, like, blind on this as possible. I know before we started streaming, Val actually, like, just in our friend Discord server, we had, like, a couple of calls where she was playing it during the call, and I have seen how easy it is to die in that game. I could not play it that way.
Yeah, I never got very far in that game, so most of it's going to be new for me, too. Because I've also...
Yeah, fair enough.
I haven't seen any, like, spoilers, so that's cool.
Ooh, hell yeah. Then we'll be taking this journey together.
Yeah. But with that, there's links in the description to Novella's channel and Blue Sky. There's a link to the Discord. There's my Blue Sky and Twitter and all the cool things. Twitter's not very cool. But,
Nah.
yeah, with that, everybody be safe, have fun, and perjury has no consequences. And
You can lie in court all you want.
This is a joke. This is a joke. This is a joke. And we'll see you all next time. Bye-bye!